shot. One of the officers died from their injuries. Now, they were responding to a domestic disturbance early on Wednesday morning around 3:30 a.m. Now, Champaign Police Department Chief Anthony Cobb issued a statement confirming that 44-year-old Officer Chris O'Brien has died as a result of line-of-duty attack. Officer O'Brien was struck by gunfire while responding to a domestic disturbance. His only intention was to serve, protect, and help provide care before he was senselessly fired upon and killed. Again, this shortly happened right before 3:30 a.m. The officer used gunfire with a suspect. Now, the gunman was fatally struck also. Another officer, like I said, was injured. Both of them were rushed to a hospital. Again, one died at the hospital. The second officer is listed in stable condition. So, with this officer being killed and the line of duty, that brings us up to 127 officers that have died in the line of duty. Alright, and that's just officers that have died. That's not officers that have been injured. Alright, and that brings us up to 24 officers that have died by gunfire, 24 auto-related, and 79 others. But 127 officers have died in the line of duty. And that's just officers that have been killed. That's not officers that have suffered life-threatening injuries, officers that have been forced to medically retire. Again, I can name about 5 officers that I know that have had to be medically retired in the past 2 years. Some were DUIs, some were foot chases, some were vehicle pursuits. But the media can't talk about that, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. And I went into this on the last video I did. The media is quick to jump on what happened, for example, in Elizabeth City, North Carolina, alright? All they want to talk about is a black man was killed by police officers, alright? Everybody's protesting in the streets, everybody's rioting in the streets, but at the end of the day, the shooting was justified, alright? And all it did was people ended up getting a bunch of charges because they're falling into what the media wants. The media wants division, alright? And we have that. I mean, we really do. Alright? It's black people are pretty much turned against police. That's what that is. Blacks and whites are against each other. Republicans and Democrats are against each other. That's all it is. Everybody is turned against each other. Media's got what they want. Democrats got what they want. Everybody wants division. They know they can't take over if everybody's with each other. Alright, so they use racism. They use COVID. When COVID started to die off, they bring back racism. Alright, just like Ma'Khia Bryan. Alright, everybody's talking about, oh, that was a setup. That was a setup because it happened right after George Floyd. Now, like, you can't stage a police shooting. How do you stage a fake police shooting? The girl was obviously shot for a reason. Again, but prayers for these officers and their families, and all the officers around America. You know, y'all stay safe, watch your back. You know, anybody who has anything to do with law enforcement, watch your back. You know, it's dangerous out there. But as more information comes available, they'll bring that to y'all. But again, definitely keep these officers there in your thoughts and prayers. As always, thank y'all for watching, and y'all stay safe out there.